Hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. It's that You Heard podcast, man. Got my boy Joe on, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't throwing up to you, man. Fuck all that,
Nah,
man.
he's
It's
no.
all day. It's all day.
It's all day.
It's
Hey, man,
all
y'all know
day.
what it is, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? A fresh off a loss, 38-31 in Louisville, man. You know what I'm saying? Check out the website, youheardpodcast.com for all the merch. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We out here. Let's just get into this intro, man. And let's just cleanse ourselves with this loss, man. Let's go.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben, Joe, and CP. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, from hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right,
Okay,
we'll
yeah,
talk
please.
about it at the end. We'll talk about it.
No. Let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like, I don't
I
appreciate
mean, what did you say?
No.
What are we talking about, son?
Get into it.
I feel keeping it a buck.
You heard?
Yeah, man. All right, man. 38-31. Another L. What is this? Three straight losses?
I gotta get up and walk around on this, man. I can't just sit there.
At your age, you got to get those joints moving, son.
As you can
I
see, I'm in the Airbnb. I flew down for this, man. It's the last home game.
Yep.
I wanted to support my guys, man. And this is what they give me, man. Heartache and pain. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like an R&B song.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, you know, we lost again. So it is what it is, man.
Dropped to 6-5 now.
Yeah.
Lost to a first-year head coach that's 10-1 on his way to the ACC championship. It was just the worst defensive performance of the season, right? Like, Braum, you know what I'm saying? Braum is going to cook. You know, I think Braum, I know we were talking earlier. We were on the show with John Cafecito and Canes. I think Braum is a better offensive coordinator, offensive mind than Mike Norvell.
Yeah, definitely. He's and we saw it at Purdue, right? If you paid attention to college football, man, he was cooking at Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
So we all knew when he came to Louisville was going to be a problem. We all knew that.
Mm-hmm.
He dipped in the portal and got what he needed as well. And he's going to get more. They always recruit South Florida. They always recruit Florida good.
Yep.
So he's going to get more, man, and yeah, he's going to get the pieces to fit his offense. And man, it's going to be a problem for years to come. So
yeah. All right, man. Let's get into this before we, you know what I'm saying, the stats. Tyler had a good game. Defense had a terrible game. So you were in the building, right? Where did you see our biggest deficiencies, man, on the field?
Offensively, I just think play calls get called at the wrong times. I think it's a little hard. Like I think it's just we're not a step ahead of the defense. Like we all know what's coming in the building. I'm sitting there with Pedro, man. Salute to Pedro. Shout out
to Pedro, man. That's
sitting there with Pedro, and we're calling what's coming. Like we know what's coming. Like it's obvious what's coming, and the defense knows what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line had a tough day today.
Yeah.
In the pass game, we ran the ball well. We had some chunk plays, but in the pass game,
they got a lot of penetration.
Louisville was able to generate pressure.
Pause.
Louisville was able to generate pressure with just 3, 4. They sent some pressure, but they were able to generate pressure with without sending a bunch of people today. Defensively, the tight ends, man, couldn't cover the tight ends for some reason.
At all.
So yeah, major stuff there.
Yeah, man. I think this was the issue. Like Clemson showed a little bit of it, right? Like how our linebackers just don't have the range. They're more downhill linebackers, and they're not space linebackers, right? Like in space, they get eaten up and they get lost. They get caught in the wash. You know what I mean? They get caught in over pursuing on one side. There was no quarterback had all day, even on blitzes. Everything was called perfectly ahead of the defense. You know what I'm saying? It was just they were like if we were a step behind, they were a step or two ahead on offense.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And it just and you could tell what was coming. Like aside from the kick out that we talked about on Cafecito, the kick out with the tight end, like just seeing that, I was like, oh, look at that. Like I'm excited just seeing that. I was like, that's pathetic. Like just like that's what I'm excited about, using the tight end as a kick out. Like not any, you know what I'm saying? It was just frustrating, bro.
We talked about it, man. It's just different situations, right? Like on a 3rd and short, when we know you're running the ball, like the whole building knows you're running the ball, and I'm pretty sure that's the culture Coach Cristobal wants to build. He wants to be tough. He wants to be able to run the ball on 3rd and 1 and pick up the first down, no doubt. But on 3rd and 1, when you have 3 tight ends and a single receiver, play action and throw that ball up, man. That's easy. You could come back on 4th down and get your 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just different things, man. It's man. It's one-on-ones with receivers, especially with Jacoby and Kobe outside, are supposed to be def. Like, fam, in college, when I was in college and there was one-on-one, we looked at the quarterback and we got a signal. We got the signal. This is what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a 9.
Yeah.
That's a 9 route. Fade, let's go all day. Like, you're supposed to have that much confidence in that connection,
Joe, let me ask you, man. In the what is it now? 11 games, right? 11 games we watched.
Yeah.
How many fades have we thrown to Kobe Young?
The most was in Clemson. They just let Emory throw it up to him, and that's what you do when you have one-on-one. That's what you do.
Like in that on that first that first and goal, right, when they had on the 4 to possibly tie it, they never did that play.
Yeah, never. And what was crazy? What's crazy is there was a play where we ran double stacks. So 4 receivers, they were both outside the numbers, obviously trying to lighten the box. Louisville didn't lighten the box. They stayed in the box, and we ran the ball. Like, and that's my issue. Like, do we not have the ability to audible out of a play? Do we not have a contingency? Like, in college, we had a play for the play. Like, if the play is not going to work or the defense shows us something different, we're running a different play. Is that not...
there's a stubbornness. There's a stubbornness in the play calling that seems to be like that. They can't do that, and I know what you're talking about. Like, they did that quite a bit. Like, they stacked the box. Like, yo, you're not running the ball against us. Even though Fletch cooked, had a hell of a day. It was just the timeliness of our untimeliness, right? Like, we just never called that one play that broke them. Like, we're talking about, we were up 28-23. And then just kind of did nothing with those next 2 possessions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, just besides the field. And that was it. It was just like, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, you can't play that that conservative, that that you're like preventing. You're like playing prevent offense almost.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of those FSU. The end of the half, and when we got the ball on a short field, did not take advantage of that.
Nothing.
That's detrimental, man. You're gonna lose. Like I said earlier, when we kicked that field goal to tie it, I was like, we're gonna lose. We're not gonna win this game.
Yeah. Because it's just frustrating, man. Because like you look at the first half, we're doing all these things, doing all, you know what I'm saying, cooking, getting the ball up and down the field. Tyler became TVD again. Just confident, stepping into his throws, even you know what I'm saying, like just doing everything he can, and it never felt like we went into that next gear, right? Like it was like, okay, we're about to. No, we're not. Okay, well, we're no, you're not. No, you're not, man. Slow down. No, you're not. We're about to not. No, you're not. We're gonna keep it close. We're gonna run the ball, play tough. But they're killing us on defense. We're gonna stick to what we stick to. It just seems like the mentality of what goes into the game doesn't get adjusted in those moments in the game, right? Like every play you have to react differently. Like we do our show, we give ourselves our 2 to 3 points or sometimes 4 points, and then we talk. We might have an idea of what we're gonna say. I say something that might change your mind. Like that's reacting to the moment. Like obviously much less pressure and all that shit, but we also don't have But we also don't have 20 plus years of experience doing that one thing, right? Like we haven't been doing podcasting for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like we're a little over a year in. Like if you have 20 plus years, multiple stops, and you're still unable to recognize those moments, I'm starting to have questions. Yeah. And you know, I'm starting to have questions. And I'm talking about the head man. Like I'm starting to have questions there. Like I'm not saying the seat's warm, but it's just like, fam, you can't recognize that. Like this isn't your first stop. This is not your first job ever. Like you don't recognize those moments to when to step on their neck. You're like, yo, let's not make a mistake. It's like, yo, let's not make a mistake. Let's chill. Okay. I see what you're trying to do, but let's not get crazy. That's unnecessary, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Disappointment,
man. Son, we're looking at 6-6.
Yep.
Looking at 6-6 because it's gonna be a lethargic day after Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
And hopefully the team shows up. But we got Boston College, man, and it's just
in Boston, in the cold.
In Boston, in the cold, at noon on a Friday. Just
Cat's gonna be ready to come home.
Son, I got like apathy again. Like I was watching the game, like I wasn't really emotional because I was just like,
no, I wasn't.
Nope. I wasn't emotional. I was just like, oh god, it happened again. They got me like another year where I'm just like, man, okay.
And like, every opportunity to win, man. Every opportunity to win. You got the ball on a 4.
Yeah.
First and goal.
Mm-hmm. No, it did nothing. They didn't get a yard. We lost a yard.
No.
Fletcher got the ball one time.
Yeah.
Like where is they did something crazy in the first drive. They let Brashard get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They did the Wildcat. Where was that? They could have sprinkled that in throughout the game to give them something to think about. They ran it one time. So then as soon as they only ran it one time, the Brom and that coaching staff is smart enough to recognize, they're not serious about that. They're not really bringing something different. You put Brashard, Fletch, and Chaney in the backfield. Run that 3 or 4 times. It might not work, but it gives them something to think about. Because it's gonna pop one time because they can't block every time.
Shit, give me a look with Riley Williams and Cam McCormick and Matthew McCoy as 3 tight ends on one side.
Yep.
Play action that bitch. Leak one of them tight ends out.
Never did.
Scoring, man. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, because they blitzing everything.
They're sending the whole kitchen.
Everybody. Something like
let fucking Matthew McCoy get a touchdown, man.
Yeah, man. They did it to us. They did it to us.
Yes, man.
Their tight ends and their backup offensive linemen or some shit caught a touchdown.
Yeah, man.
It was bananas, man. It's frustrating, man. How you feeling? How you feeling about the coaches, man? Are you? I don't look. Gidry's not the conversation. That's not one bad game in 11. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to give the defense has got to be tired being on the field 1,000 plays or some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the defense was bound to have a game like this. It's just it is what it is. We don't have the depth. We're mad young, all that shit, no pressure. Where do you stand on the coaches, man? On Dawson, I guess.
They have to. Well, no, it's. I
More than
listen. I
that.
start from the head coach on down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They have to get better.
Yeah.
Like it's what the frustrating part to me is what you demand from everybody in your building, right?
Yeah.
Your demands are
Accountability.
astronomical. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Rightfully so.
Yep.
Are you holding yourself accountable, man? It,
Hmm.
your is your stubbornness going to keep it a buck?
Yep.
Poor decision making has cost us at least 2 games from
Yes.
the staff.
Hmm.
Keep it a buck,
Minimum.
like keep it a
Minimum
buck,
two
man.
games.
And
Yeah.
and this is what I want people. I don't give a fuck, but this is what I want people from Twitter, whatever, to understand, right, or to stop doing. Stop being emotional because you like somebody or dislike a coach. That can't skew your
How you grade
opinions
them?
of what's
Yep.
going on.
Yep.
Like because you like Coach Cristobal or whoever,
Yep.
look at what's really happening, man. Like, yeah, they have to get better. They have to get better, son. That's
Yep.
all I ask, man. I don't like we talked about it on John Capacito and Kings, you know what I mean? Um, I really don't want Dawson to leave. I don't want him to leave. I don't want us to have another old coordinator because I think he's capable of doing some great shit.
Yep.
But you got to get better, man. Coach Cristobal got to let him cook. This offseason, you have to do better. You have to sit with some fucking brilliant offensive minds.
Yep.
Take.
Go.
That's all coaches do. They see shit around the country and they implement it.
Yep.
That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody does that shit.
Yeah.
You
Son,
know
he
what I
doesn't
mean?
have to go far too, though, right? He doesn't have to go
Facts.
far. You
You
talked
have
about
the
it on the previous.
the fucking scientist
Yeah.
in that
Son,
building,
like
man.
what Mike McDaniel does with that offense, like just the crazy moment, like you said, because it's fucking frustrating, bro. Like to have been, I think we talked about it. It's like coaching malpractice to not use a son. You at no point could you have used a Brashard and a Ray and just had them both in motion. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
set one up just to see what the fuck is happening. Throw
Mhm.
X in motion, bring them on what's like to not ever do anything, just different shit. Like you could run those same fucking plays, man, and not done anything different. Like this is right now.
Yeah,
So
right.
if you guys are listening, we're talking about the head man, right? Like if you want to put your stamp on something and you want to put your finger on the scale, look at the reality of what you've done. As of right now, you're 2-5, looking at possibly another losing record, right? Because if you go 6-6, you're gonna go to a weird bowl game, which you never know what happens. So you might be looking again at a losing record from 5-7 or 6-7, right? Like let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a potential of happening, right? So you stopped one of the best offenses in the country in the first 4 games, purely off execution. For what exactly? How many experiences, how many times did you need to see it wasn't working for you to be like, yo, this needs to change? You know what? None of it. Because it worked in the first half, and then the second half, that offense died again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, I told you from the get go, and I've said it on the show, I am not emotional about who the head coach is, who the offense, I don't give a singular of a fuck. I'm a Canes fan. That's it. Like, whoever helps my Canes win is who I'm with. I don't give a fuck where they coached at before, if they're a Miami guy, if they're not a Miami guy. I don't care about any of that shit. If we win, I'm happy. That's it. I don't care about none of that shit. So I'm not emotional. It's not about the coach, none of it. He is doing shit that is stupid. He is. For what, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it can't be like, oh, it's everybody else's fault. He's the only constant in 2 years. Right? Yep. So you switched up the whole fucking squad. You got a whole new coaching staff. Offense kind of looks the same. You're back to kind of scoring 20 points a game.
Yeah.
You were scoring 40 when you let Dawson cook.
Yeah.
That's just reality. That's not emotion. That's not but for a comparison of who's gonna be. That's just what's been.
Yeah.
And the team has better effort. I give a fuck about effort if it doesn't result in W's. Yeah. Oh, but I'm trying really hard. I don't give a fuck. Did you win or lose? It's a results-based business.
And that's what you're going to be judged off as the coach, man. It's simply wins and losses. Nobody gives a fuck how you got there. Nobody cares. Like you do in the building is the most important thing, no doubt. The culture building, no doubt. But again, you can build culture while winning.
Yeah.
While winning the games you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The point we've always made for the last whatever years is that Miami always has, if not the best talent in ACC, top 3.
Yep.
It's always like right behind Clemson. You can have Florida State and Chapel Hill. Those are the 4 teams with talent, the most talent in the league. Now, the depth is an issue, definitely.
Yes.
But talent, 100%. We're always top of the class in talent. When does that materialize? When does that reap benefits? You know what I mean?
Oh. It hasn't. And look, and we'll get a lot of comments. Oh, but we haven't had the time. Fam, we're not telling you that we have first round picks. We're telling you by the people who are supposed to know how do you evaluate this shit, that spend hours, and this is what they get paid for. We don't get paid for this shit. We do this because we love it. They're the ones telling us that Miami has the top 2 or 3 talent in the last 15 years.
In the ACC. We're not talking about nationally. We're not talking about competing with Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about
the ACC though. Yeah. Georgia Tech, NC State should not be
a conversation.
We shouldn't be losing those games. No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what we're talking about. So we continuously lose to those teams, regardless of the coach, regardless of the coordinators, regardless. Like it just doesn't make sense, man. Like, and to perform like this, like you were saying, like the only shit that matters is wins and losses. When they show a coach's stats, they don't show, oh, but his team gives great effort. That doesn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like it I don't care how nice the coach is or how mean it wins and losses, fam. Wins and losses. Yep. That's it. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. Again, like you have to go now into Chapel Hill after your 2 games back to back against top 10 teams. Oh, Chestnut Hill. Yeah, Chestnut Hill.
Like who gives a fuck? But Chestnut Hill.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a single fuck? Like, it's gonna be cold as shit. It's gonna be miserable. It's gonna be people with like the fuck. It's gonna be people with like 2 hoodies on, a fucking warming blanket, and like people all around the fucking setting a little, you know what I'm saying, a little fucking fire to stay warm. It's gonna be cold as fuck. Yeah. So it's gonna be a terrible game. It's gonna be like a 13-7 ugly, but it's gonna be a boring. It might be a game. If I'm keeping it a buck, it might be a game I fall asleep in the middle of, because it's gonna be the day after Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have that itis. It's just again. Like,
I would like to see the young boys in that game, man. For real.
Yeah.
I would like to see the young boys in that game.
This is why we made the argument all week about like play till next season now, right? Like you already qualified for a bowl. Give the fans something to be excited about. That's why the lack of excitement of them choosing Tyler TVD. Well, I was like, about it, because it's like, we've seen this movie already. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, man, it's frustrating. 6-5, man. Going into ACC play 4-0, we're 6-5. So we're 2-5 in our last 7 with worst offense and our worst defensive performance of the season. How do we start looking at next season?
Improvement, man. You gotta get better. You gotta get better, man. Like the head man, like I said, man, accountability. If accountability and culture and taking responsibility is what it is, you got to start with yourself, brother.
Yep.
Got to start with yourself, man. You got to get whatever is causing the stubbornness. You know, the stubbornness is a selfish thing. You know what I mean? You can't be stubborn because you're the leader of a team.
Yep.
That's not gonna go. That doesn't go hand in hand, man. So
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
You can't be stubborn, man.
Yeah, look, it's a trait that is definitely a fault, man. Like, look, by every metric, everybody that's talked about him knows that he's hardworking and stubborn and all. Like, that's not like you could be stubborn, like if you could be confident about a lot of shit, but the numbers got to add up, man. You know what I'm saying, like Nick Saban can be a stubborn, arrogant fuck, but he got championships.
He changed up. He brought Lane Kiffin in.
He changed up this season.
He changed his whole style.
Yeah. The whole style in the middle of the season, like, yo, this wasn't after that USF performance. They were like, yo, let's fix this shit right now. Like, you got to find, like, you can't continue to watch failure and be like, hey, listen, man, we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with these dives. We're going to stick with these ISOs. We're going to stick with these same 3 receivers. Never even flip Kobe and Jacoby on sides to give the, you know what I'm saying? Like, when do you even see them do that, man? Like, when do you see Kobe on the near side and Jacoby on the far? I don't even see that. Like, they just stay on that. Like, that's the only side they can run their routes on. Like, if you give Jacoby George a post, he's gonna run out of bounds if he's on the other side. He's not gonna know where the field is. Yeah. It's wild, man. It's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating. Again, no emotion though. Like, it's just, I don't even got like much else to say. You know what I'm saying? It's another loss heading into a possible 500 season, and hopefully holding on to the recruits, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of recruits in the building too. A lot of recruits in the building.
Yeah. How was the game experience though, man? You got some good seats. Shout out to our guy David.
Shout out, brother. Yeah, I spoke to him. Yeah, it was whack. There wasn't that many people there. You know what I mean? It wasn't. You know, the tailgating was dope.
Was it just you and Pedro sitting in your section?
Yeah. Nah. The section was, but there was a lot of empty seats in the section.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was about what we expected. We knew that. We knew that was gonna happen. Noon game. We're fucking, 6 and whatever, 6 and 4, 6 and 5. They're selling buy 1 get 2 free seats and all of that. So we already knew. We already knew what was gonna happen. But that's just what it is, man. You have to win. I don't care, man. I don't care. Like, people that say, this is never gonna happen in Gainesville. Man, them motherfuckers 3-6, 3-9. It's not gonna be that many people there.
Yeah.
And we see that.
Yep.
Like, stop playing.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's rough, man.
That's what it is, man.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, man. Just a short one, man. Don't really got the end. What are we gonna talk about? Everybody saw the game.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we'll start cooking at after Boston College, man. We'll start cooking. Recruiting is going to heat up in December. Transfer portal going to be crazy. We have a special announcement coming shortly.
Yeah. We got some things cooking.
Got some things in the works. So yeah, man. Put the website. There you go.
Yeah, I was already. Yeah, man. Come on, we family, baby. Let's go. I already heard you. I heard you say it before you said it. Yeah, man. Check the website, man. We got some more. We got some more merch coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Trying out. Look, before we put anything out there, we try it out ourselves, make sure it feels right, fits right, you know what I'm saying? And how I watch, we make sure, so we real thorough about this shit, man. So it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Catch the episodes, find out more about us. We got some more things cooking on that. We might be cooking up some forums. I'm saying we might be doing some writing on there too, man. So that's the home, man. Check out youheardpodcast.com and find your boys on there. Look, man, it was a tough loss. And that's just what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, but we gave great effort. I'm not giving y'all that speech, man. I'll let other people handle that. I'll let mouthpieces handle that. I'm not doing
shit about moral victories over here.
I don't give a fuck. Ain't no moral victories here, man. It's a fucking loss. So Corey Couch tackled Jaden Harris like a motherfucker on that. That shit was. All right, man. I got nothing. That was son. He didn't even look like he's just looking back, just running straight forward. Like that in every world, you run into something, right? I've done that shit one time. I ran into a fucking tree, knocked myself out. Looking back and running full speed. Come on now, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Check the website, man. YouHeardPodcast.com. Just a short 1 minute, 30 minutes. Get the fuck up out of here and cleanse this game out. Joe's got to hit up Flannies. Wahala. Peace.